What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 18 of the Nightly Nonsense Podcast. I'm your host, Adam. I'm here with Dave and Chris. Boys, let's get into a little. I don't think we've done this much, but we're going to get in a little algorithm talk. Is your guys' Instagram, would you say your algorithm or TikTok, is it locked in? Where are you at right now?
Mine changes from week to week. I've been seeing the orange peel test a lot. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
I haven't seen that.
I've never seen that.
Interesting. So it's
Yeah.
like the like a girl will secretly record like her boyfriend or husband or whatever and ask them to peel the orange for them, and it's some test to see, like if he complains about doing small stuff for you or something like that. And a lot of the guys are failing it because they're like, no, peel your own damn orange.
Okay.
I've never seen that. That's not in my algorithm.
Interesting. I've been
I
seeing
feel
that a
like
lot.
I feel like I'd peel the orange.
I would too, yeah.
Why
I'd
would you
complain
not?
while doing it, but I'd still do it.
Well, and the other one I've been seeing a lot is it's like another. Why am I seeing all these tests on mine? Girls will like put a bunch of ketchup on a counter and ask their like husband or significant other to clean it up, and they see how they go about cleaning up the ketchup, and it just makes guys look really dumb. Honestly, they're like spreading the ketchup all over the counter.
My first question on that would be, why is there ketchup all over the counter?
Right.
Like, I'm not cleaning up your ketchup mess if you put. No, I'm peeling the orange. Let me go ahead and preface this. I peel the orange. The ketchup, I ask so many questions. I'm like, if you made this mess, you clean it up, not me. I ain't cleaning up all that.
See, once again, I'd ask all of those things, but I'd probably still just end up doing it.
Yeah, no, the
I'm trying to
ketchup.
think the best way to go about it.
The ketchup one is more so to see like their critical thinking skills and like how they clean. And the orange one is more so like checking to see if they complain about stuff.
Ketchup
but either
on the
way,
counter, it's
a lot of tests out here. The boys have to be careful for these tests that are.
I was gonna say my algorithm and your algorithm are totally different. I open mine up, and I'll get to the main one in a second. But usually it's golf.
Yeah,
I got golf.
Check.
Sports talk.
Yep.
Okay.
Talking about
a lot of Pat McAfee stuff.
Oh, tons. I love Pat. And third, lots of girls. And I don't know why. Like, here's the deal. I'm not looking up girls on Instagram and TikTok. Like, I don't know why.
You're not just going to your search bar and typing in girls?
No, I'm not. But every time, it knows, though. It knows I like women. Because I'm scrolling through there and I'm like, girls. And, like, sometimes I'm at work. I'm like, oh, God, keep going.
Come back later.
I can't have people seeing that. And even with the fast swipe, later that day or the next day, there they are again, just girls. And I'm like, oh, God.
The problem is, like, if you just linger on one for a little bit too long, then it just inundates you for a little bit, and you gotta flood those out.
Catches me in a weak moment.
Guys, I feel like mine's very different than yours. You'll much quicker find a video of some guy pouring beans into a hat and putting it on his head before you find a girl dancing on my TikTok page. Like, that's just.
You're married, that's like.
I don't have a lot of girls dancing either, but like every once in a while, like I said, one will just like pop in, like they'll just sprinkle it in there on you, and you just linger a little bit too long.
Are you sure you don't want to see this?
I have a lot of cooking. I get a lot of cooking videos. With Chris and I going to Italy for our honeymoon, I get a lot of like 5 things to do in Italy. So like a lot of like vacation, and then that's just kind of turned into like travel videos. And then, so 2 that I really wanted to talk to you guys about, because I've seen a lot of them. I've seen different clips of a lot of different people talking about this one. So the first one, it's like, would you rather be trapped in a mall with 1 gorilla or 5 king cobras?
I've seen that too. Yeah.
I'm someone that's deathly afraid of snakes, and like I need more answers. Like I need to know like what is the purpose? Like is it just like coexist?
Do you get a flute?
Are these in a couple baskets?
That's 5 free cobras. That's a business you just started.
In a couple baskets, like, or are these animals? Is their sole intent to like attack me, or are we just coexisting?
Dude,
I
I'm
haven't
dead
seen
either
that.
way.
I'm surprised. I haven't seen that going around. I've seen something similar to that. I've seen. Well, first of all, I would take the cobras definitely
I
because
think
snakes are just like that's just crazy.
well, that's what I'm saying though. Like, which once again, the answer is always going to be cobras because like you're just not going to be able to survive with
That gorilla's killing you.
a gorilla. But like the one thing, it's like for some people, like obviously you can always probably see the gorilla. Like the cobras, you just sometimes you don't know. But I also feel like I've never seen a cobra or a snake on an escalator. So if I just like go up the escalator, like is it just are they just all chilling on the main floor? So if I just get to the top, you know,
Have you seen snakes on a plane?
no,
I mean,
I
it's
know they
possible.
can, but I haven't seen it.
That's
they're
what we're
on a
basing our
plane, they
logic
can-
off of. That's what we're basing
Yeah.
our logic off of.
If Samuel L. Jackson sees them on a plane, then that means they can probably get up an escalator.
Well, someone
So-
put them on the plane, Dave.
I know. I'm kidding. I don't know. I think either way, I'm dead. I'll be honest with you. I think those things because I'm slow. So the snake, if I'm on the same floor as them, I better have a major head start to get to the escalator or the elevator. Otherwise, they're getting me.
Well, that's
But
what
you
I'm
have to
saying.
remember-
Like, is the sole purpose here just like survive as long as you can, or is it just because, like I said, if it's just coexisting, I feel like I can, like Chris said, snakes really don't like people. Like, I'm deathly afraid of snakes, so like
I'm shocked you said snakes.
Kristen's dad's always like they're more afraid
Me?
of you than you are of
Oh,
them,
yeah.
and I'm like doubtful
sure.
because I'm terrified of them, but
They are.
at the same time, like if I'm in an entire mall and it's just coexisting, like they're not trying to attack me, I can avoid them easier than I feel like I could avoid a gorilla.
For sure. But you also have to remember so let's go off the premise that it's just to stay alive. And you said that we're in the mall, right? So I'm assuming that Asian Gifts is in play. I go in there, grab 2 swords. I'm taking the snakes all day long. I'll slice up some snakes
Chop their
easily.
head up. Lead them in with some anti-hands, and then right when they get to the end of the line, you just wha-pow!
And then you hop behind the hibachi counter and have you a little king cobra stir fry.
Maybe a little
Oh,
boba tea. No, but I've been
Boba tea or
seeing-
bubble tea?
Isn't it boba?
So
I think that's
bubble
the-
tea is the place in the mall, but boba tea is the tea,
tea.
with the little tapioca balls.
I'm
Yeah.
glad that you just explained that because I thought it was the other way around.
Yeah,
I thought
no,
that it was called bubble tea served at boba tea, not boba
Nope.
tea served at bubble tea.
Yeah,
Wow.
how about that?
How about that? Go ahead.
That's
Chris,
great.
sorry.
Wait, what were we talking about right before this? Because I wanted to say something, but I forgot what I was going to say. We were talking
Something about something similar. So I feel like it has something to do with animals, surviving animals, fighting animals.
No, it was
Yeah.
about the algorithm right before this.
Yeah, I think you said you were getting ready to say that you didn't see the cobra and gorilla.
Oh yeah.
But
What I have been seeing is you versus a fully grown grizzly bear. So we're talking like 1,600 pounds,
Right.
and you have $10,000 to draft your team, and it's like each hyena is like $500. A silverback gorilla is like $650. A lion is like $700. A bunch of snakes are like $10 a piece.
Okay.
Like how are you putting those together? So I've seen some kind of similar stuff to that. This is what I was going to say. Real quick on the algorithm thing, because one thing that I want you guys to check out that I got pretty heavily invested in is the Ultimate Glass Fighting League. And it's just these 2 guys that have like a little shop warehouse in their backyard, and they'll go to Goodwill and buy a bunch of different pieces of glass and cups and like vases and stuff. And they tie them to strings, and then they built this like little wooden UFC arena, and they take the glass on the strings and they swing them. And so like the glass like swings past each other, and then eventually they'll smash, and like one will break and one wins, and they do like a whole bracket. It's so much fun to watch. I love it.
I've seen the thing swinging and whoever hits.
Yeah.
I've never gotten so far into it to know that there's a bracket though.
I was gonna say also I've had some like it's more like some ASMR stuff where it's like glass breaking and like different paint colors like falling each time the glass breaks, and I like that, so I'd probably enjoy a
That's
little
super
battle
cool.
royale with the glass.
Okay, so this one just came into my mind too.
Let me hear
And
it.
I don't know where these come from. I don't know like how this got in. Probably because I'm mesmerized by it, but usually it's like a group or a singular small Asian man, and
I love where it's going.
and they're like fishing in this dirty, muddy water by like pouring baking soda in a hole, and then these funny like. Have you seen this?
No, but just like I've definitely seen like two guys build in a hot tub in the middle of the Amazon jungle, like for an hour at 2:00 in the morning. Like, that was random stuff.
And I know why it's in the algorithm, because every time I'm like watching it, I'm just like, this is crazy that they like pour baking soda in a hole, and then all these like fish.
They're like clams. They're like snails or clams or something, and I think it's salt. So I think they pour salt, and I think that like makes the like they're eels or clams or something like that. But I'm the same way. You guys remember me telling you guys about how they make like ink and stuff, like those like the traditional Chinese cultures. I'll get sucked, and those are like 12 to 13 minute long videos that I'll just be sitting there at like 1:00 in the morning, like, man, I can't believe this is how they made ink back in the 1700s.
That's like if you ever see like the meme where it's like the girl like rolled over with like an angry face looking back and is like, I wonder what he's probably thinking about other girls or something. And then it paints to the guy and he's like watching a video of like exactly that. Like, how did they make ink back in the 1800s?
My absolute favorites are, do you guys ever follow like Man News? Where it'll be like, it's just like stuff that guys like. So it'll be like someone throwing a big rock off of a cliff and then waiting for the water splash, or like there's this, one of my all-time favorite videos is like, this guy's like, oh, what do we got going on here? And the guy reaches down and there's like a bucket full of ice, and he goes, oh, bucket full of ice. All right. And he grabs down and he pulls like the ice out of the bucket, and it comes out perfectly. He's like, all right, that's some good ice. What are we going to do with it? And he turns around and there's like this perfect concrete patch, and he throws it. And he's like, can you take me high?
I've seen that one. He's like, no, he's not. No, he's not. Can you take?
And then it smashes, and I'm like, yeah.
That's like literally how simple of human beings men are. Like, I could watch a video of just throwing ice on concrete for like 15 minutes, and Chris would be like, what are you watching? Just ice on concrete? He's like, that's entertaining.
Do it again.
Watching stuff explode. Oh man, those are the best though.
Before we got into that topic though, what were you talking about where you have X amount of dollars to defeat a full-grown grizzly bear? What squad are you building?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the exact like what it was, so I don't think we can get that much into it, but I think in most of those scenarios, quantity wins, right? Because like you and a gorilla.
I did see a simulation where it was like a billion gingerbread man
too. Yeah,
a billion
Darth Vader or something
versus 5 T-Rex, and they inflicted like 1% damage on the T-Rex, where the T-Rex killed a billion gingerbread.
What's a gingerbread man gonna do?
I also saw one of those that was like 600 million toads versus 1 Bowser, and Bowser took down like 30 million toads and then died.
But he put a dent into him. But no, I do agree with you that it, like, obviously when it's not the extreme of a gingerbread man versus a T-Rex, like, quantity wins. So if you can get enough of one thing that can like is taking the attention of the grizzly bear, like really just like annoying it, being like a nuisance, and then you have one maybe big ticket item that you purchase that can really go in for the finished job. That's probably the way to do it.
I would probably just go like, so in that scenario I described, if it was like 600 for a gorilla, 700 for a lion or something like that, and the hyenas were only $40, I think I'm going all hyenas.
Yeah.
And one,
I don't know though, because like a grizzly bear could probably kill a hyena in just one swipe though.
Yeah, but
what's the malaria?
I said, and then 1 malaria mosquito playing the long con. So even if you lose, you'll still eventually win.
At the end of the day,
you both die. So nobody wins.
I think I'm rolling squad deep with $5 penguins.
Just
me and an army of
penguins.
And I'm waddling in front of all of them.
You give the Braveheart speech.
And then they just...
It might not be tonight, but in 10 years, you'll look back.
That or the miracle.
And the penguins are like, ah!
And then they just get dismantled.
I'll be like, we tried. It's good effort, boys.
But no, there was on a similar kind of vein. There was I don't know the names, Chris. I think you might have even mentioned the name of their podcast
I
before.
think
We
it's
started
called Basement
talking.
Yard.
That
Or
maybe
that might be the other one I was talking about, and then I know
but
the one you're talking about
it's
too.
these two guys. Like I said, the clip that I remember that I feel like the first one I saw that I was dying laughing at, but I was like, this almost has to be a bit because this guy can't be serious. It's like he's like, "What's your favorite cereal right now?" And the guy's like, "Ooh, I'm super into Fruit Loops." And then he's like, "Oh, what's your favorite flavor?" And the guy's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like favorite flavor Fruit Loop. Each color is a different flavor. And the guy's like, "No, the flavor is fruit, you dumbass," and just like keep screaming at each other. Like this guy's convinced that in a bowl of Fruit Loops, like you have sour, green apple, grape, strawberry, like all within this thing of
No.
Fruit Loops.
No.
And another one that I saw the other day, it was like the guy was like, "I'm pretty confident I could beat any animal in a fight except for a lion." And the guy was like, "A silverback gorilla." And he's like, "Easy." He's like, "What are you talking about?" And the guy was like, "I'm more like I am less confident in myself against a giraffe than I am a silverback gorilla." I'm like, "What do you mean?"
What
Like,
is the explanation for that?
I mean, I know exactly
He's
what
like,
you're
"He's
talking about.
bigger than me. He could step on me."
I think I did. You sent me that, I think.
And the
I
other
think I
one,
did.
the guy was
Because I was
like,
like,
"Yeah,
"This guy
I could."
has to be kidding, right?"
The other guy was like, "Yeah, I could knock over a moose," and he was like, "Well, what are you talking about? You couldn't knock over a moose?" And he's like, "Yeah, I just run up and put my shoulder into it. I could probably knock it over onto its side." And he was like, "You're crazy." So they're just like taking these outrageous takes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and the crazy thing is, like, their whole thing is that they're based on that they've known each other for so long, and like the fact that you don't, like, I don't know, like they're always surprised by each other's answers, but
Yeah.
they've known each other since like third grade. So like, how can you be surprised by some of these things now? Like when
I
they
think they're doing it. I think they're doing it for content. And here on this podcast, we're a podcast of principles. You know, we all have standards. We know that we couldn't knock over a moose.
I
and they're
mean,
doing it
with
for
that being
content.
said, though,
Am
10
I
rounds
right?
against a gorilla, I'm probably going to a judge's decision, right? Like, I'm not
Yeah.
getting knocked out.
no.
No.
You're
No,
getting
but
knocked
okay,
out.
so one of the bits
Oh, I'm lasting seconds.
one of the bits that they did that they were talking about was like all the goats are Hall of Fame all time of the Pop Tarts, and they were like
Ooh, that's
so
a good
thrown off
draft.
by each other's answers. But I feel like I wouldn't be surprised by your guys' answers. Like, let's go around the horn and just guess, and then don't say the answers.
Favorite Pop Tart
Favorite all time Pop Tart.
all time? Like, I know mine.
I know mine too.
And I feel like you guys might be able to guess mine.
Well, the fact that you said all time like that makes me think that I do know it, but now I'm not sure.
I'm thinking yours is. I'm gonna guess, Adam.
Yeah.
Yours is like that strawberry one with the frosting and the.
No,
That's what I was gonna guess too, Dave.
No,
but
I'm
I
not.
also think
I'm
that
like, I would say the sweet equivalent to the strawberry. Like, the strawberry is probably
the
like,
blueberry one.
no, like the strawberry
No.
frosted is probably like the OG of like the fruit flavored
Yep,
Pop Tarts.
for
And I
sure.
would say mine's in like the OG category, just like the most basic run of the mill of the more like sugary, not fruit flavor,
Oh.
but like other end of the sweet spectrum.
Like the brown sugar one.
said
That's
brown
the one.
sugar, cinnamon
The brown
sugar.
sugar
Yeah, okay.
cinnamon.
That's what I was gonna guess
that's
for
mine.
Dave. I was
That's
gonna.
mine.
I was gonna.
It's such a classic.
I was also
so
gonna
good.
guess the like s'mores or like
Ooh,
roasted marshmallow for Dave.
S'more
My-
is also an
Do you guys
elite
have
one.
any idea what mine is? Can you guess?
You seem like
You
a
like the
wild card.
Yeah,
I
think-
am
you
a
like- are
wild
you-
card.
Are
The
you a wild
chocolate
berry?
one?
Are you a wild berry?
Wild berry, yes, that's the correct answer. But
Good.
there's a specific wild berry.
A specific wild berry.
Is it the one with like the purple frosting?
The
instead of
Spider-Man themed one from way
Ugh.
back in the day. That was the best one. It was like red and blue.
no.
Oh, it was
Dude,
the
did
best.
you guys ever play? It was a computer game, and it was like on like poptarts.com, and it was like a mini game, and it was like, do you remember the Sprinter game where like each level got more difficult? Like you were facing, like you were at like a middle school track meet, then you're at a high school track meet, and then you're at the Olympics, and all you had to do was like press right and left like as fast as you can.
Yeah, but
It
was
was
it
like-
the one where he had like really weird legs that you had to try and
Yes.
control? Okay.
So
It's like
with
Floppy
this
Man or whatever.
With this Pop Tart game, it was the same thing. You had like a runway, and you just had to press the two sides as fast as possible, and you were just a bike on a bike going over like Evel Knievel style, just like off a ramp over toasters and then on another side of the ramp. And it would just be like, how far can you go and how many toasters can you clear? Then obviously if you fall in the toaster, you die and then you just get eaten. But it was a pretty fun game. I want to see if
that's
I can
actually
find that.
That's a great topic. So do you guys remember Cool Math Games? Was that your guys'
Yes.
go-to back in the day as well?
I do.
What was what was your go-to, like which games do you think you played the most?
I played a lot of BM Tron.
Okay.
And then I played a lot of Lemonade Stand.
Okay.
I played that one. That was mine.
I was gonna say I played a lot of Balloon Tower Defense.
Ooh, and tanks. I played a lot of tanks too.
Yeah.
And then
I just had to pull it up to see the website's still in action, guys. They're selling ads now.
You go up from Cool Math for Kids, and then you go to like Mini Clip or like
Mini Clip, dude.
Like
oh my
level.
god!
And the amount of viruses I had to have put on my parents' computer from playing those games,
Mini Clip.
and just who knows what was going on in the background.
Oh, these are like portals into the past right here.
The Mini Clip games.
Yep.
There was one shooting game, I don't remember what it was called, but it was like similar to almost like a Bloons Tower Defense, where like the levels got increasingly harder.
Was it a zombie one? The zombie apocalypse
one.
game. That was fun too, where you basically had to shoot just left and right, but you had to like time it up so that you could kill everyone.
Yeah, and you were just like a little stick. You were just like a little stick figure guy, so you couldn't really move that well.
I remember that one.
Yep.
Do you guys remember the one where you had to build the like ski slope and the guy would sled?
Yep.
Thing?
Yeah. Draw it. It was like draw something. I forget what it's called.
I did that one. I played that one all the time,
dude. And then some of the like OG like Apple games like Temple Run.
Yep.
Flappy Bird.
Yep. Temple Run.
Angry Birds.
Fruit Ninja.
Fruit Ninja.
Oh, I love Fruit Ninja. Oh wow, that's a blast.
Yeah,
from the
blast
past.
from the absolute
wow.
past.
Cool math games, man. That's awesome.
Cool Math for Kids. What a website.
Well, and really they started out like pretty like math education heavy.
Yeah.
And then they just gave up on it and they just started putting games on there.
You got deep into if you got deep enough, you'd be like, oh, I found some games.
Yeah, but it was at a point where like Cool Math had like passed like the audit checks of the teachers. So Cool Math was still like an approved website to go to. And then they just started sliding some games in there. Oh man, that was fun.
Classic.
All right.
Let's get into this next thing.
We're gonna switch it up. And I feel like Chris, you're gonna be leading a lot of the charge here. I know I'm a little bit with you on this. But where do you guys stand on conspiracy theories? Like, do you find yourself, are you a conspiracy theorist? Would you say you're kind of a conspiracy theorist? There's obviously some things that you buy, some things that you don't. Are you pretty much, you shoot all of them down? Where do you guys sit on the spectrum?
I feel like, real quick for me, I feel like I'm always curious. I'm interested to hear the arguments.
Yep.
And then most of the time I'm like, well, while I could buy what you're telling me, I just don't think that's true. Maybe that's me being like positive that people are telling us the truth about stuff or something, but usually I don't buy into them. But I am curious. I would say that.
I would say I find myself drawn to them. And as soon as there's like one thing that doesn't add up, I'm like, wait, hold on a minute.
You start pulling on that.
I'm like, hold on a second. That doesn't add up. That's a good point. Like, let me hear some more from your point of view on this. But especially in the government, I would say, just because you guys know that I worked in state government, like I worked for the governor, and that's, that's a pretty... People underestimate like how high up a governor is, like when you're in the state. Like when you go to DC, it's nothing. It's like you're scum. But when you're in the state that you're the governor of, you're a big deal. And working in that and seeing behind the curtains of how much of just a mess it is, and just like how much everybody's just winging it and figuring things out on the go. Like don't get me wrong, there are some things that are buttoned up very tight, like the security detail and transportation and stuff like that is very tightly scheduled and planned. But the behind the scenes stuff that goes into just like everyday work is like messy, and it's like it's really just like kind of just people making decisions left and right that don't necessarily they aren't sponsored by the organization, but you're in the organization and you're the people making the decisions. So like, I could see how there could be a lot of conspiracies coming out of the government. Like I tend to lean more towards like, I don't trust it than, they're politicians. They do everything by the book and we shouldn't worry about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it was I saw a clip from a comedian and he's like, I don't understand people that don't believe in any conspiracies. He's like, especially as they relate to the government, because he's like, how I like to think about it is like the government is the parent and we're all their child.
Yes.
And he's like, I have one child and I lie to that kid constantly. So you just think our government's batting 1,000, telling us the whole truth all the time? So like, I can buy it 100%. And then there's just some things that like the human in me like doesn't let me believe that they're real.
Yeah. No, I get that. I mean, go ahead, Dave.
Well, I feel like too, there's some where it's like I believe part of it, but then I'm like, okay, like I'm stopping there. And so this is kind of a sensitive one, but I'm just going to go out there because it's very common conspiracy theory is about 9/11. So there's people who think that like George W. Bush knew and planned
not a chance
9/11
to get us to go to, that's like no.
There's zero chance that George W. Bush knew and planned 9/11. But I could be convinced, or I am curious as to the people who say, okay, maybe the CIA was behind it for some type of purpose, or not even behind it, but they knew that it was going to happen and they didn't do anything to stop it.
See,
that part I could see more so than the president knowing about it.
I don't believe it in that specific one, that like anyone that has the ability to stop something like that wouldn't have stopped it. But like one where like I don't believe the story we were told about JFK's assassination. Like, I don't necessarily know if I know who did it or who was behind it, but like, I definitely don't think it was like just one shooter. I definitely don't think we got the full story on that one. But like,
wasn't there recently some more information that came out about that one also?
I don't know. I feel like every so often there's always like, because like a big one is like the mob was behind it, and I feel like every so often like some mobster that's like in prison that's about to die will be like, we killed JFK. Like there's always that one guy, and then a little something comes out and you're like, okay guy, yep, you did it, yep, good job.
Yeah
And then obviously the more like innocent ones are like, do you believe in Bigfoot? Like I don't even know if that's a conspiracy theory. That's just more like, is Bigfoot real? I don't know.
I'm with Dave in the sense of like, there's no, I don't think there's any way that George Bush like knew about it and planned it, but I could somehow believe that maybe the CIA was like giving money to someone and somehow like that whole like operation backfired and they ended up using the money to like successfully complete their mission, and the CIA kind of got duped and then they just swept it under the rug. Like, so like, and I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying like that kind of like convinced. The government like tried to do something, made a mistake, didn't want it to land on their hands. They swept some stuff under the rug and kind of blamed it on someone else and found a patsy. Like I could definitely believe that. Now, 9/11 specifically, no. 9/11 specifically, no, I don't believe it. But then at the same time, I'm like, how did that jet fuel burn through those steel beams? Because they've done tests and it's not possible. So someone explain that to me. I don't know. There was other planes that like just don't get talked about as well. It's like, well, give us all the facts that we need to know. Give us release the documents.
Yeah,
the Sunshine Law.
The black box.
Sunshine Law. Just start naming things.
Isn't that a thing?
Naming laws.
Isn't the Sunshine?
I think it's like a state by state thing though. So
Freedom of Information Act.
There you go.
No, but the biggest conspiracy for me is probably, well, I don't even know if it's a conspiracy. I guess it's not a conspiracy, but the Great Pyramids just don't add up to me. Nothing adds up. It just doesn't.
I think those technically fall into the conspiracy theory conversation.
For sure. But it's not, it's more so like we just don't understand it more than it was like some kind of like they're trying to deceive us. But
like, how did they build those that long ago with
back
the lack
then,
of technology?
Like, yeah, the
Well,
technology they had, the structure that they've built. That
I got some stats for you guys on
are you
it.
going to show me the Carfax?
So,
right now, Chris?
If we think about the Egyptians, right?
Right.
Their
Mo
whole
Salah.
culture and society is known very well for having lots of glyphs, lots of hieroglyphs, like documenting all kinds of like parts of daily life and all this stuff. There's not a single glyph in any of the Great Pyramids. There's no markings or indications on any of them.
For that, just
a hieroglyph,
them the glyphs, or is
yeah,
that just
I do believe.
thing?
No, I believe a glyph.
Because I love it either way.
I do think it is called a glyph, but
okay.
There's also no mummies in them. No mummies were ever found in any of the Great Pyramids. That doesn't really make sense either, because they're supposed to be buried. Like they say that they're burial tombs for the pharaohs, right?
Yeah.
The math also doesn't really add up. If they set if they set 10 stones a day,
okay,
and these are 6 to like 10-ton stones, maybe even more than that. I'm not exactly sure on the weight of the stones, but if they set 10 stones a day, and remember, these stones weren't cut there. They were cut hundreds of miles away up in the mountains and dragged to the pyramids, is what we're guessing. But if they did 10 stones a day, it would take 664 years to complete one pyramid.
And how many are there?
3.
I think what it comes down to is that aliens built them.
Well, that's what I mean.
What's your guys' take on aliens?
Hold on, because that is a big part of this, because they do. So they say that. Well, they don't say. This is all true. The Great Pyramids are aligned to true north, right? Like, so that on a perfect clear night, you can see the North Star right above the peak of the center pyramid.
Okay.
The other two are also lined up in like very significant astrological directions according to the stars.
Right.
The proportions of the pyramid, so the base of it, I'm going to sound stupid because I don't know the exact math behind this, but basically the width of the pyramids is an exact number when multiplied to the circumference of the earth, to the like millionth decimal. It's exactly perfectly the exact same math. That's kind of weird. Also, you guys know the Sphinx in Egypt as well.
Yep, no nose.
So if you look at a picture of the Sphinx, there's weathering around the base of it. So it's widely believed that it's a lion with a human's head, right? And so there's weathering on the lion's body that looks like water has been running off of it. Or at least there was like water at some point sitting level with it, that as it moved was eroding it, and then it slowly, the water dissipated and it eroded down. But the Sphinx is set in a lower depression, so it also looks like the surroundings of the Sphinx make it seem as if don't make it seem, there was erosion at some point that was going down towards the Sphinx. So like
you got in a deep rabbit hole on this one, didn't you?
Yeah, this is intricate.
There's also so if you told me that
a day's research.
If they no, I've been in these rabbit. I've gotten deep on Reddit before. This isn't even like the bad conspiracy. This is just like normal research for me. But the craziest part, maybe not the craziest part, but one of the craziest parts is in the King's Chamber.
Right.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen pictures of the King's Chamber, but in the King's Chamber of the Great Pyramids, there's 3 gigantic stones, like 170 tons. So like thousands and thousands and 170,000 pounds, right? 3 of them, 2 of them are placed like this, and the other one is placed like this. So it's almost like Stonehenge, but inside the King's Chamber. The King's Chamber is elevated 300 feet above the ground level there. So if you told me, because the blocks do get smaller as you go from the base of the pyramid to the top. So if you told me like the blocks got smaller and they somehow had some kind of crane contraption system where they dragged it or whatever, fine.
A pulley system, yeah.
But getting those 170,000 pound blocks up into the King's Chamber and positioned perfectly at 300 feet above ground level, there's just a lot of math that just doesn't add up. Like the next tallest structure that was created since the pyramid is the Eiffel Tower, and it was almost.
Is that really how tall they are?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's the next largest human-made structure, and so like
the Eiffel Tower
is the Eiffel Tower, and it was hundreds of years later. So like
more than
the fact that they had that, the fact that they had that like architectural knowledge back then is just wild to me.
And that was the only thing they used it for. Like they just made these 3 pyramids, and then they didn't like show that off in any other part of their society. It's bananas.
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. So we're in this rabbit hole about these pyramids, and we at least have some type of explanation we've been given. If they were in fact around before the Egyptians, or if they were made by aliens or whatever conspiracy you want to believe, imagine what they were thinking at the time when they didn't ever see any structure, and then they just roll up and they're like, "What is this?"
It's like, yeah, we got these big triangles, bro. We built these.
Exactly. They're like, I think we should claim them.
Yep, these are ours now. We built these.
I watched this one show. I want to say it's called Ancient Mysteries or something like that on Netflix, and it's like one of those like docuseries shows where but it had some like I said, as soon as someone poses a good question that doesn't have an answer, I'm like, all right, like maybe there's something to this. But basically, they found some pyramid sites. So the Great Pyramids are not the oldest pyramids in the world. There's older ones. I think some are in South America, and then there's some in like Mesopotamia. But the ones they found in Mesopotamia it's basically like this giant underground structure. And so they brought out like these sonar devices and they put them in the ground so they could digitally map what is below them and on like this cliffside, or like this, like it's in the middle of the forest. And there's this gigantic human-made stone structure built underneath the ground that they 3D mapped basically. And they dated it to essentially 10,000 years ago.
I heard this is like recent news, isn't it?
It's not recent news, but like it's been talked about before.
Can we trust the technology? Like were they fleecing us, you think?
I don't know, but I just think that like I wouldn't be surprised if somehow something came out later on. I'd be less surprised if someone told me that humans existed 10,000 years ago than I would be if someone less surprised if someone told me that humans existed 10,000 years ago than if you told me that aliens built the pyramids. If that makes sense.
You would believe the 10,000 years ago more.
I would believe that there was humans here that were at some point more sophisticated than what we believe as like the caveman era. And then there was an extinction level event that basically reset humanity back to caveman style. And then we built back, and that's just as far as we know of history. I think, but like, 2,000 years is what, or I guess we say what, like 3,000 years?
Years is just since like Jesus. So,
and then what does our current history date back to before that? Like, what do we typically say humans entered the picture around?
I have no idea.
Law school didn't teach you that?
I'm sure they did, but I don't remember anything.
Law school, I can tell you law school did not teach me that. But, I mean, it says on Google, the earliest documented representative of the genus Homo is Homo habilis.
Right.
Yeah.
2.8 million years ago.
Okay, yeah.
And they use stone tools, it says. That's on Wikipedia, the reliable source of Wikipedia.
But no, I don't disagree with you, Chris, that there could easily have been like you said, an extinction type event that kind of reset
the base knowledge of humans, essentially. That would make more sense to me than aliens came here and built the pyramids.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
Because my thing with that would be like at that, like why hadn't they come back? Like why'd they like just build
maybe they never left.
Or is it just like their biggest prank? Like, we're going to build these. We're going to wait a super long time till we come back. And all these people are just going to have conversations on podcasts about it.
Yeah.
It's their bit. They're just doing one big
bit. They just made it home to their planet.
I don't know. I find myself believing that like maybe we are the aliens. Like maybe we came here after our last civilization crash.
To somebody.
Like, so what
I think it's very small-minded thinking to think that we are the only human civilization in the universe. I think that's like just so arrogant and small-minded thinking. Like, and
Well,
we're
I
it.
wouldn't say it's small-minded because
I think it
the
is.
biggest minds have not been able to show that there is anyone else.
I know, but like, so it's just us. Like, you really think it's just us?
I don't necessarily believe that.
I agree with you that people haven't been able to prove it, but I think it's small-minded thinking because, like, there's a reason people are trying to see if there's stuff out there. If they genuinely believed we were it, they wouldn't look.
Well, I would say I would believe that
Valid.
I would believe that there's aliens that are not human or like human. What did you say? What was your word for it? Like a human species. Like I believe that there's probably human life form. There's probably aliens, but I wouldn't guess that they would be in a human life form. They would be in some type of different life form. This would be my first guess.
I also don't think they're what like TV and movies show them as, like weird little green people.
Yeah, I don't know. No. I mean, they could be anything. Like,
and like I could probably be convinced that there's definitely like an Atlantis type world under the ocean because that's so like there's so much ocean that's gone unexplored.
I could be talking.
Like there's gotta be something down there, right?
Yeah.
In the deep dark parts of the ocean that they can't get to.
We might have to just make conspiracy theories a recurring segment and just kind of go into some of these because
we are.
Well, some of them get a little politically dicey. Like,
yeah, but like you can
Sandy
do, like,
Hook
the
definitely happened, and that was not planned by the government. That's just a crazy person killing kids. Like that's just bad. Like
I agree.
So some of those you can't.
We don't
really
need to touch on those, but if it's, like I said, like Bigfoot, like yes or no, you know.
Well, you got
those big heads. Those big heads that someone made, but there's no one there.
You guys have heard my Bigfoot joke, right?
No.
It's a little dicey, but I'm gonna say it on the podcast.
Right,
I don't care.
Roll with it.
But they always say that people with big feet typically have big dicks as well.
Right.
So if that's the case, why aren't we calling this guy the huge cock monster and not Bigfoot? And also, maybe that's why all the photos are so blurry.
Oh no, they're not suitable for television.
Cock monster.
Oh god.
No, but real quick.
We're losing sponsorship on that one.
Real quick, back onto the aliens thing. If you guys haven't watched the show on Netflix called Strange Worlds, it's really interesting because basically they guesstimate to what like life forms could look like on other worlds based on science almost. So like they'll look at a planet that's like a very heavy methane based planet, and then there'll be like some kind of
like
huge
Mercury.
Sure, that's not methane at all. But like
Mercury.
Sure. But basically so it'll be like these big like sky creatures that basically breathe methane and live off of algae that like can grow in the air and stuff like that. So it's like science. It's basically like if you took the science to what could exist in this type of climate or like this type of planet, and then they show you what it would look like. And it's pretty crazy. Like some of the stuff they show you. It was a good watch.
I'm sure that's some pretty wild stuff.
Yeah,
it was interesting.
That seems like a good watch. That seems like when Kristen's not home, I maybe get a little comfortable on the couch and really just let my mind go for a walk.
Just give it a walk. The other one I liked too was I think it's called Life on Earth, but it's not like the planet Earth that you're thinking of. It's like all life that's ever been on Earth, and so it walks you through like 5 or 6 different extinction events and how life survived and then re-evolved and then got wiped out again, and then what survived, how that evolved, and it kind of walks you through all of it, and it's very, very interesting.
Another one. I think that's let the mind go for a walk and just see where my brain takes me.
Yeah, it's wild, man.
Yeah,
but I'm a conspiracy theory guy, so I'll start taking some notes, and we can work it into each podcast.
We'll replace Chris's animal fact of the week with Chris's crazy conspiracy.
Yeah, a little conspiracy theory talk
presented by the World Wildlife.
Definitely more to come there.
Presented by BlackRock.
because of all this great conspiracy theory talk, we're going to jump into a little Let's Learn Sports, or sports trivia, more or less is what this has turned into. But Let's Learn Sports brought to you by Fanatics. Again, all your
Still
sporting
our
needs,
sponsor.
go to Fanatics.
Still our sponsor, may not be after that joke Chris made earlier, but we're good.
I mean, they got merchandise with the word Cox on it on the website. If you're a South Carolina fan repping your SEC school, we didn't say anything that out of pocket. So
yep, I'm just kidding.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
So, like I said, we've kind of turned this into just more like a little more fun, a little more interactive trivia. So I feel like this one, we'll see how you guys do here. I think there'll be some easy ones to knock off, but maybe some of these later ones will be a little bit more challenging. So we're going to go for the top 5 again. 2024 being an Olympic year, we're going to go countries with the most gold medals in Summer Olympics history. Just summer.
Okay.
Just summer.
Okay.
And we're going top 5.
All right, the United States of America. Chris, can we lock that in?
Sure, but I don't think it's going to be number 1.
Well, it's going to be top 5.
So you are looking at the United States of America at number 1 with 2,542 gold medals.
Okay.
Good
answer.
Good. Hell yeah, U.S.
So...
And this is dating back to 1896.
So... You know who always shows up and shows out at some Summer Olympics?
Who's that, Dave?
I think Italy.
Yeah, the shot put specifically.
Yeah,
is that where they thrive?
Yeah, that's where they're big shot put people.
Is this total medals or gold medals?
Ooh. I did search gold medals, but this does say the most Summer Olympic medals. So it is just medals in its entirety.
There you go. Okay. Love it. Okay.
Yep. Summer Olympic medals. So not purely gold, just medals.
Okay.
And you have the U.S. at number 1 currently.
Cool.
I feel like China's going to be up there.
Okay.
Isn't summer gymnastics and
track and field, gymnastics, swimming, dive,
basketball.
And then there's like some obscure, like the more obscure, like there's some archery type stuff.
Basketball. Is basketball summer or winter?
Summer, I believe.
Okay. Another big one. It's Russia now, but the Soviet Union. I mean, they were like packing out.
Yeah, I think they'll probably be in the top 5. I think they lean heavier towards the Winter Olympics, but
should we guess Soviet Union?
Sure.
Russia?
Sure.
Let's do it.
5.
So you were looking in the 2 spot.
Okay.
The Soviet Union with 1,010.
What a drop.
Is the USSR the same as the Soviet Union?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Okay. So
quick trivia question for you, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Who was assassinated that started World War II?
Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
Yeah, good answer.
Yep.
Okay, continue.
just a little side trivia.
Yep, love that. Okay, so we have the U.S. at 1 and the Soviet Union at number 2.
I think we throw China in there at 3. I think they got to be in there at least.
Yeah, China would be good.
Who are we missing? Like maybe Great Britain on its own?
Great Britain, yeah.
Let's probably throw them in there.
Is that firing off of Great Britain?
Yeah, because I think they'll be high on swimming at least, kind of.
They're good at swimming, and it's a country that's been pretty powerful for a long time.
Let's go for it.
Okay, so you're looking at in the 3 slot.
Yeah.
Great Britain at 867.
We're knocking them out.
Knocking them off in row. Let's go.
I was going to say, if you guys can go with even in order, that'd be electric.
So then we have like Spain, France, Germany.
I didn't even think about Spain. Yeah.
Spain, France, Germany. I said Italy. But
I really Spain, France, Italy. I think Italy's probably up there, but I could also see France being up there.
I like France.
France, I feel like would be really strong in like rowing events and like
That's where you feel their specialties lie.
Archery, pastry making.
Yep.
Yep.
You want to go France?
Let's go France.
Okay.
So you were looking in the number 5 spot with France at 739.
Okay.
But they're top 5, so we're looking for number 4.
You're looking for number 4.
Chris, I said Italy from the get-go.
I was going to say Spain, but it could be Italy.
Here's the deal. So it's going to be one of Spain, Italy, or I feel like Germany.
Okay.
Because it's not going to be like South Africa wasn't around probably early
Jamaica is not going to be in there.
No, they're bobsledders.
They just dominate the sprints.
Like Canada.
The 100-meter dash.
Canada's not
only good in the winter. Like what do they call those countries that are up there, like Norway and Sweden and Denmark? They're
the
winter
Scandinavian countries.
Yeah, I feel like they would dominate winter, but not summer.
Okay, let's go Italy.
Let's go Italy.
I trust Dave.
You want Italy?
I want Italy.
So that's the first X. You're looking at Italy in the 6.
Okay.
Ooh,
with 592.
I mean, I really thought it was going to be Spain first, so I think we got to go Spain here. And then if it's wrong, we're struggling.
No, we have to go Germany. Yeah.
All right, let's go Spain.
Okay, Spain.
Spain is also an and not even cracking the top 10.
Oh, wow.
What are they doing?
Okay. Let's think about it. So it's not going to be any South American country.
Germany or China?
We already guessed. No, we didn't guess China.
You did not guess China.
Oh, and not Japan. Japan's another one.
I don't think so.
Australia is not very good at sports. South Africa wasn't good early 1900s. Okay, so Germany or China?
Yep.
Dude, I don't feel good about it. I feel like China's better in the winter.
Really?
Yeah, because they're good at like figure skating.
Yeah.
They're good at skiing. What are they good at? What are they good? I know, not really, but what are they good at in the summer?
They're pretty good at weightlifting. Surprisingly. They're pretty good at gymnastics.
You also have to remember, like, martial arts is a part of the Summer Olympics.
So is like ping pong. I'm pretty sure ping pong's in the. Not trying to stereotype here. I'm just saying, like.
But to be fair, Germany also very good at table tennis.
Dang, yeah.
Yeah, and I just don't know. I feel good about Germany.
All right, let's do it. I trust you.
Do you guys want a hint?
No.
My hint's not helpful, so.
All right, then give it to us.
It is one of either China or Germany.
Okay. I don't feel good about China.
All right, let's go Germany.
All right, let's do Germany.
And we continue on with getting these trivia questions right. It is Germany in the 4.
Wow.
At 760. So this list is giving me the top 10 here. So I'm going to work 10 up. So in the 10 slot, you have Japan at 441.
I mentioned Japan.
In the 9, tied at 9, you have Australia at 495. Tied with Hungary at 495. That one was a shock to me.
Yeah.
Sweden in the 8 at 498. China in the 7 at 546. Italy in the 6, 592. France in the 5, 739. Germany in the 4, 760. Great Britain in the 3, 867. Soviet Union in the 2 at 1,010. And then United States in the 1 at 2,542.
Hey, let's go.
Here's the impressive part is almost every country in the top 10 other than Hungary, I think, we at least mentioned and considered. So,
and Sweden. Those were the only two.
To be fair.
Well, you kind of said Sweden as part of that Scandinavian group, but you classified them as a winter.
Yeah.
You know what I think those numbers speak to, though, is diversity and how valuable it is. Because like if the US was just pasty white dudes, for all time, there's no way we're breaking this list. There's just no way. So
Yeah,
thank God for a little diversity.
What we have against all these other countries is that all of their people had to come here at some point.
Yep.
So natural selection brings us out on top by like 1,500 medals. We're like dominating.
Yeah, it'll be like the gold medal in figure skating for the U.S., Christina Yamaguchi. I'm like, yep, that's American.
That's us. That's us right there. That's awesome.
Good work.
Right.
Good work, team.
I
so
like
now that brings us to the main event, the lyric battle presented by SeatGeek. You want tickets to a not a movie, maybe movies. I don't know why I always want to go movies.
But
tickets
they may
to
a
concert,
movies.
A comedian, a sporting event, all your ticketing needs. SeatGeek has you. Check out SeatGeek. So Dave, you are picking the songs this week.
Yep.
Chris is in first place at 7. I am in second place at 6, and Dave, you are in last at 4.
I know, which is just so aggravating. But here we go. I'm picking the songs. Me and you had a rough showing last week, Adam.
We did. It was tough.
It was tough. Chris, you picked some doozies for songs. Looking back on it, but
I think it's just like we talked about with the algorithm. Like Chris just has a little bit different flavor, a little bit different taste. There's nothing wrong with that. It was just hard. It was just hard for us.
No, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. But
I wouldn't even say that though. Like I listen to all music pretty much. I know people say that and they don't, but like I could jam out to some classical music. I'll jam out to anything. So those are just what I thought would be difficult for you guys.
Yeah. Our first song is a lyrical free classical tune where I will be humming. I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Dun, dun, dun,
the first thing we were looking for is an F sharp.
Oh man. All right.
Since I got the dub last week, I will defer. So Chris, you will get the first word here.
Okay.
All right. So here we go.
My notebook in case we get deep into the words here.
All right. So first word for the first song. Can
you take me higher?
That's also
Classic
what I would have
tune,
said, though.
Okay, that's a great song, but not it. Second word, we.
Okay. I'm not going to fire off a guess. So you can go on to the next one. I love that
this is Adam's like new strategy.
Yeah.
He kind of stole it from me week one. Right. Like week one, I didn't sing anything, but now I'm frustrated with myself, so I just start belting stuff. And anyway, beside the point.
Because I get in my own head so much that if I pick a song, like that's the only tune I'm going to have in my head. So I kind of have to abstain for a little bit unless I feel really good about a guess.
All right, third word for Chris. Forget.
Dang, I think I know it, but I can't think of it. I'll skip too.
All right. Fourth word for Adam. About. Can we forget about?
Can we forget about? Can we forget about the things I said when I was drunk? I didn't mean to call you that.
Dun, dun, dun. I can't remember what was said or
what you did to me.
Please tell me.
Please tell
Is that right?
me. That is correct. Yes.
Dang.
That is 1 point for Adam with the song My Own Worst Enemy by the band Lit.
Can we forget about the things I said when I was drunk?
Classic.
I didn't mean to call you that.
Dang.
Nice. Good point.
All right, Adam. Now you're up next.
Yep.
And first word is I.
I, you say, huh?
I.
I can't even think of a song. There's probably so many, but I don't know which direction I want to go, so we're just gonna sit on it.
All right, Chris. Second word is only.
And just for a little clarification, This is I, not EYE, correct?
This is the letter I.
Okay, perfect.
I got nothing.
All right. Third word is talk.
I only talk. I only talk when spoken to. Next, please.
Okay, Chris. Two. T-O.
I only talk to. I feel like we thought you were gonna do country music, and now you didn't do any country music. And then watch this be country music because I said that.
I got nothing.
Okay. The last word was two.
Yep.
I only talk to God.
I only talk to God when I need a favor. God, I need a favor.
Bingo. You got it. You got it. That's Need a Favor by Jelly Roll. That is the country
Wait, hold
song.
on a second. I think Dave just did what my word was talk.
Yeah.
It was. So I had I.
Yeah.
You had only. I had talk. You had two, and then
'Cause
I
said-
had God.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Because I said two and I said T-O. And then
Yeah.
to you.
I don't
Chris.
even. I've never heard that song. So
Really?
Oh.
It's a popular one on the country charts right now.
It is. It's Mr. Listens to all the music. Doesn't know one of the hottest songs in country music.
You don't
That's
know about
tough.
Sir Gelatin Roll?
I know all the words to International Harvester though.
That's
I'm a God-fearing combine driver. Hogging up the road, my power.
If that's the next song, I'll give Chris 2 points.
well,
If
it
that was what you had
It
queued
was.
up as the
It
next
was.
song.
It was, but I'm not. I had a backup. I'm not kidding.
What?
That
Are
was
you
my next-
kidding me?
That was my next song, but I'm not. I'm not.
Oh my!
I know. That's when you started singing that. I was like, oh,
Because
no.
you would have gotten that for sure.
Did you see me go? I just put my
That's
head down.
incredible.
That is incredible. But
That's the
I
first. That's the first no word guess.
I know.
I mean, Adam said I got 2 points for that. Before you said it was true.
I know,
Oh
but
my
That's
God.
incredible.
True.
What a song too.
It is a great song. It's one of my favorite, like all-time country songs, even though it's kind of quirky. But hold on, I had to back up.
That's incredible.
I can't believe that. I'm kind of mad that you got. Anyway, all right. So I got my next one.
And so it's to Chris. That's
Oh.
What? That's crazy. Now if I don't get this, I'm gonna be mad. All right, let's go.
All right. Chris, you're up first.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
First word is I. The letter I.
I already don't know this. I didn't know it earlier.
Okay, Adam. Second word is Matt.
I met. Okay. Go to Chris.
All right. Third word is her.
I met her at a bar, and I played my guitar.
And I brought her home in my truck.
No, I don't know.
Mantra. Okay. Fourth word is down.
Down by the river.
I feel like it's not the song, but as soon as you said down, all I had was down on the river by the Chattahoochee.
No,
She burns hotter than a hoochie coochie.
That would be way. That would start with way down yonder.
I know, but when I heard down, that's immediately where my brain went. Okay, next.
So the last word was down.
Correct.
Next word is at.
No, I don't know.
Okay. Next word. Aldean's, like Jason Aldean.
I met her down at Aldean's.
Yep.
My handwriting is horrible. I don't know it. Obviously, Obviously, I know it's a country song, and because Aldean's is a bar on Broadway, I don't have it right now.
Okay. Now I'm concerned. that you're not gonna get it.
No, well, okay, go ahead.
This song was popular like on TikTok also.
Ooh, I'm not on the talk.
Okay, well, on Reels also. Next word is she.
I know that I don't know this part of the song. It's like 2 a.m. at a Broadway bar. It's Broadway Girls. I don't know who it's by, and I don't know the next words in the song.
I mean, if that's right, that's about as many that I got right for Pinball Wizard.
Okay.
And I'm still just in utter shock that Chris got the last one with he just knew the song.
That is the correct song. So
And
we can give it to him.
I was going to say...
I don't know the next words, though. She put her number in my phone.
I mean, like I said, you've given me enough. I feel good about seceding this point because, like, now because you said all of this, like, if it clicks with me, it's only because you got me to this point, you know?
Like, I know, certain, like, leave them Broadway Girls alone.
Yeah.
Leave them Broadway
I
girls
can't think of the
alone.
Yeah.
It's so you're right that the beginning of the song. So the first lyrics to the actual song is what I said. There's like
the interlude or whatever.
Yeah, at the beginning that says like 2 a.m. at a Broadway bar. She's putting her number in my phone. 2 Bud Lights deep, and she's saying things she don't mean, and you know. And then goes, I met her down at Aldean. She said that she saw me walking
that's
about a mile away.
All right, now that I've heard the melody, I gotta
see. I wouldn't have gotten that, but now, like, I know the refrain now. Leave the Broadway girls alone.
Yeah. So Morgan Wallen and Lil Durk.
Lil Durk. What a mashup!
It is, and that's
the
Broadway
mashup
Girls.
the people didn't know they needed.
Fun fact, at the Morgan Wallen concert, that's what he walks out to right there.
Okay, I love that.
Yep.
Oh, God-fearing, hard-working combine driver.
Hogging up my road with my flower.
So that's a three-peat for me. We're storming from last place to tied for first. So we have Chris and I, we're tied at 8. Dave, you're sitting at 4. First to 12. We'll have to put out some sort of poll as to what we want the punishment will be to be, so we decide it before it comes out, so we're not picking on someone. So we'll have to make that decision. But I like this game. It's a fun game.
I do too. It's good.
It is a fun game. We'll think of a little twist on it or something for after we get to 12, but we'll keep the songs going because I like it. It's fun.
Awesome.
Great job on timing tonight as well, boys.
Yeah, great work tonight, boys.
Good episode.
Everyone, you know what it is. As always, that's Nightly Nonsense.
Time for Dave to get wet.
I'm a beautiful butterfly.
See ya. Bye.